name's Tulip. Ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with solving mysteries. While other kids stuck their faces into video games, I was busy snooping around and finding cases to crack. Like where to find Mom's missing earring. Ta-da! Detective Tulip to the rescue! Aw, thank you, sweetheart. My detective skills actually came in handy sometimes, but more often than not, it could be a disaster. Like one time at my aunt's wedding, I noticed something strange about the cake. It looked too perfect, too smooth, too suspicious. According to all the detective movies I've watched, whenever food looked this good, there was only one explanation. Poison! So I went to investigate, and that's when I saw this stick in the center of a cake. Why would anyone put a stick in the center of a cake? Theory 1, someone wants my aunt and her husband to choke. Theory 2, it's a hidden weapon, but not on my watch. So I yanked out the weapon, and the cake crumbled like a pack of cards, making a big mess. Gotcha! You cruel... It's just an ordinary stick? That was a dowel stick! It was holding the cake together! Oh, so no poison then? Mom took me home immediately and banned me from doing any more detective stuff. But I wasn't about to give up. Not when my best friend Cherry still believed in me. Even if the rest of our classmates scoffed at my detective adventures, she would always listen with her whole heart. I know you're gonna be like Sherlock. No, even better! You're way too smart. Whatever happened, I knew it'd be alright as long as I got Cherry by my side. And that's why it hurt so much when she had to leave because her mom got a new job in Asia. How's your new place? It's nice. A bit small, but cute. Aw, Cherry, I miss you so much already. I miss you too, but I promise I'll visit and we'll see each other again soon. And just like that, I was all alone. Everything sucked after that. Without Cherry, my detective adventures didn't seem all that exciting anymore. And my parents were too busy arguing to notice their once lively, fearless detective daughter had become a lifeless blob.
I told you to fix a sink! And I told you I don't have magical plumbing powers!
I thought I was going to be that emo kid forever. Then I turned 16 and someone came along who changed my life in more ways than one. Meet our new transfer student, Sadiq. The moment I saw him, my long dormant detective instincts kicked back in. There was something off about him. He barely spoke, always kept to himself. But the strangest part was that he never put down his school bag. Not during class, not at lunch. At first, I thought it was just a weird quirk, but then came the swimming competition that just took it one step further. Sadiq was one of the chosen swimmers for the competition. You would think that at least when he's underwater, he's gotta leave behind the bag, right? Nope, he just dove straight in. The bag's still strapped on. Rumors exploded. Some whispered he was hiding stolen money. Others joked he was smuggling something illegal. My detective instincts were itching to get in on the case, and apparently I wasn't the only one who thought of bringing back Detective Tulip. I was cornered in the hallway by the school bully Greg and his group of loyal minions.
Hey, Tulip, it's been a while since you bragged about being a detective. What happened? Finally realized you're too short for the job?
Stay cool, Tulip. Stay cool. No way was I letting Greg get under my skin. You wish. One day I'll be solving crimes on your screen as the biggest detective ever.
Well then, why don't you prove it? Find out what's in Sadiq's bag. It should be easy peasy for someone with your skills, right? Solve the case, and we'll personally spread the word about your genius detective work. But if you fail, we'll help you bury that stupid dream forever.
You're on. I took the challenge for 3 reasons. 1, I was curious. I mean, come on, who wasn't? 2, I was bored. And 3, solving this mystery would be my way of proving to myself and everyone else that Tulip the detective was back in business. I couldn't wait to tell Cherry about this new adventure when we finally reunited. At first, I tracked my Sadiq's every move at school, seeking an opening to peek inside the bag. But that got nowhere. This guy was way too cautious. Then I decided on a more direct approach. Maybe if I were his friend, he'd just spill his secret and save me the stress of investigating. Hey, new guy, I'm Tulip. Mind if I join you?
Whatever.
Okie dokie. What was that? So this guy just had 0 social skills then. I kept trying to start a conversation again and again, but no matter what I said, Sadiq would only respond with a snort, silence, or barely audible yes or no. It was like talking to a brick wall. So I switched tactics. I was going to follow him home. He had got to put it down at some point. I was sure of it. If I waited outside his window, maybe when he was going to sleep or take a shower, I could just quickly sneak in, snatch the bag, and unlock its secrets. A bit stalkerish, I know, but if he never found out, it wouldn't cause any harm, right? So when school was over on Friday, I followed him. I tried my best to keep a low profile so he wouldn't notice me, but I suddenly lost sight of him, as if he had just vanished or teleported or something. I was going to leave, but as soon as I turned around, I immediately bumped into Sadiq!
You again? And now you're stalking me? Why?
How did he see me? How did he even get behind me? Was this guy a ghost?
I asked you a question.
My brain short-circuited in that moment, and I blurted out the first excuse that came to mind. I just think you're the coolest boy ever! The second it left my mouth, I wanted the earth to swallow me. Utterly baffled, and who could blame him? I was baffled myself!
You don't even know me. Stay out of my way.
I could only stare as he left. I was double horrified. Horrified he caught me stalking, and horrified at the horrific love confession. I sure wasn't in love. I wasn't even in like with him. So, my great plans had blown up in my face. But I couldn't let go of that school bag mystery. And now, it wasn't just about the bag, it was about him. He was a mystery himself. How did he appear behind me so fast? Supersonic speed and teleportation aside, but more than that, it was his eyes. The weight in them. You don't often see that in every high school kid's eyes. I was eager to learn more about him. But you know how they say curiosity killed the cat? Well, mine was about to make me cross a line I'd regret forever. The next day at school, I snuck into the admin's office to get the records, and I took out Sadiq's file. My hands were shaking from excitement and fear of getting caught. But when I read it, shock slammed into me. Sadiq's family went through a fire accident, and it took his little sister's life. The report said that the accident had taken a toll on Sadiq's psyche, and he hadn't been the same since. Sadiq was just a boy, still mourning and hurting over the loss of his little sister. And here I was, selfishly prying into his privacy because I was too fixated on having my detective adventure. My best friend moved away, and that alone shattered me. How much worse was his pain for losing his sister forever? I realized nobody should invade another's privacy just to satisfy their curiosity. So I told Greg I was done.
So you're backing out because you're a chicken?
No, I just think we should leave him alone. He probably has his own reason that is none of our business.
What a loser! Fine then, we'll show you how it's done, but don't you dare forget our agreement. After we're done with him, you're next. Let's go, guys. Detective Tulip here needs a demonstration.
Greg and his lackeys stormed into the classroom to find Sadiq. I tried to stop them, but it was no use. I was just a girl against 3 boys. They went straight to Sadiq's desk.
What's going on?
Oh no! I rushed in, but they'd already yanked the bag away from Sadiq. Stop it, Greg! I ran to grab the bag from them, but the worst possible outcome happened. Greg immediately ripped the bag apart in front of Sadiq's eyes. No! A chilling silence crept into the room as the bag's contents spilled all over the floor. Even Greg went pale. On the floor, there's a scorched stuffed rabbit, a cracked family photo, and a small silver urn with the name Prishna engraved on it. It was exactly what I had thought. He was carrying memories of his sister with him all along. Sadiq's body froze on the spot as he fell to his knees next to his sister's urn. I turned around and punched Greg right in the face. He deserved that. After the teachers got involved, Greg and his gang were suspended, while Sadiq was advised to prioritize his mental health first and take as much time off school as needed. I assumed he would resume school in a day or two, but a whole week passed, and he never showed up. I couldn't help but feel responsible for this. The agony on his face when it all happened was still haunting me. It was worse than when Cherry moved away. I was in such distress that even my parents stopped arguing and took notice.
Honey, are you okay? You've been so quiet lately.
That it only took a few words for everything to spill out like a broken dam. For the first time in ages, I had a real heart-to-heart with my parents. I told them everything. How Cherry moving away crushed me, how their fights made me feel completely alone, and how I hurt someone who didn't deserve it. I had expected scolding, maybe indifference, but instead I got a, "I'm so sorry, honey. I can't believe we got so caught up in work that we forgot to be there for you."
But no more. Let us make it up to you. We'll fix this. Together.
It felt good to have my loved ones by my side, to know that I wasn't alone. With Mom and Dad's help, I went searching for Sadiq's home to make things right with him. Relief washed over me at the sight of his face.
Tulip, what are you doing here?
I came to apologize. Please, hear me out. I was worried he would avoid me again. Luckily, his mom kindly let us in with a sweet smile. She even gave us some privacy so I could say what I needed to. Your home is beautiful, and so is your mom. You took after her. Not that I'm calling you beautiful or anything. I mean, you look fine. Yes. Oh gosh, why do I keep saying stupid things when I'm around you? I thought he'd roll his eyes or give me one of those glares that said I was annoying. But instead, for the first time, I saw Sadiq smile. Just a tiny, barely there smile. But hey, that counted too. And it was enough to give me the courage for what I had to say next. I'm sorry, Sadiq. It was my fault. I took a stupid dare from Greg to find out what was in your bag. I got so caught up in this imaginary adventure that I didn't realize I was doing more harm than good until it was too late. It was thoughtless and invasive of me to pry into your personal life like that. I'm sorry.
They're the ones who tore my back, Tulip. Not you. My sister. What happened to her was on me. I was supposed to look after her while Mom was in the hospital. But I was exhausted and I accidentally left the cooker on.
There's a sinking feeling in my chest. I couldn't bear to see him trying to take on all the blame by himself. It was an accident, Sadiq. I'm sure your sister wouldn't want to see you torture yourself over and over again because of a past that cannot be changed. After all, she's still with you, right here. Forgive yourself and live on, for her sake too. Sadiq's eyes softened and my heart felt lighter.
You're right. I guess I thought the only way to remember her was to carry the weight of my mistake everywhere I went. But turning her memory into a burden, that wouldn't be fair to her. That's not how she'd want to be remembered.
Trust me, this wouldn't be letting go or forgetting her. It's living the life your sister would have wanted for the brother she loved. I could tell this was already a huge step forward for Sadiq, which was why I also encouraged him to seek a professional grief counselor to further help the healing process. He was hesitant at first, but after encouragement from both me and his mom, he finally agreed. After that, we became the best of friends who shared tons of happy memories together.
I was wondering, if you would love to go bowling this weekend, or the movies, or, I don't know, anything?
He promptly looked away, and for a split second, I could have sworn I saw his whole face going red. My detective instincts tell me that perhaps something even more might be blossoming between us soon. Sure, I'd like that.
This must be Nymphalidae. No, it's Amethusidae. Look at the pattern on its wings. Oh man, how can they be so obsessed about some dumb insects? Yawn. I walked over to Caden and pulled on his sleeve. Caden, let's go take some photos by the stream. It's... Gloria, you just made it fly away. It flew away by itself. Not my fault. So bothersome. Why are you following us? Didn't you say we were enemies? You must be wondering who that guy is, and why he's so moody. He's Caden, the boy I'm trying to win over. It's down to him that now, a girl as amazing as me has to spend her entire weekend trapezing around the woods. Ugh, I don't even like insects, and I really dislike his sister, Chloe. About the enemy thing, well, it is sorta true. You see, Caden's my neighbor. And somehow, he always managed to appear at the worst possible moment and sabotage my things. One time, I was climbing over the fence to sneak out with some friends when Caden showed up and he made a scene out of it. So, my dad immediately dragged me inside and gave me a prize of 1 week being grounded. Another time, I was innocently sitting in the garden, copying an essay off the internet, when once again, Caden appeared, saw what I was doing, and made a fuss about it. So, yep, you guessed it. My dad overheard and grounded again. This poor Gloria. Ugh! I really did hate his guts back then. But my feelings then changed 180 when he once saved me from drowning. Well, I wasn't actually drowning, I just had cramps. But the fact that he dove in to save me was enough. Since then, I only had eyes for him. But no matter how hard I try, he's always so cold towards me. There's no way I'm giving up that easily. You see, someone as dazzling as me has a habit of getting what I want. With this in mind, I ran after them, but a branch got in my way, and I rolled down a hill. Everything around me was spinning. Then the world went black. Gosh, my eyes. What was with the blinding bright lights? I tried to sit up, rubbed my eyes, then saw Caden frantically running towards me. Gloria, you're awake! Are you in any pain? Oh, Yeah, right. I fell and fainted. But hold on. Is Caden worried about me? If only he treated me like this all the time. Suddenly, an idea flashed through my mind. Aha! Gloria? Are you okay? Huh? Who are you? Why am I here? Caden panicked and ran to find a doctor, while Chloe rushed over to me. You seriously don't remember us? I pretended to be so surprised, eyes open wide, and asked who Chloe was. Then the doctor came in. After a few tests, he said there was no severe injury, but I must have been suffering from short-term memory loss. Of course, my acting skills were Hollywood level. And no surprises, since then, Caden's attitude towards me was so different. No more moodiness. Instead, he was so sweet. So, this whole pretending thing is totally worth it. I just had one gate to pass. That devious girl, Chloe. Anyone confident to do last week's routine? This will go in your favor towards the lineup evaluation. No way was I going to miss this opportunity, so I immediately raised my hand. After successfully completing the dance, everyone praised me. Except for Chloe. She stared at me and said, don't you have amnesia, Gloria? How do you still remember this dance? Oops, I forgot about the losing my memory part. Well, I watched the dance clip online and stayed up all night practicing, as I don't want to be the black sheep of our team. Chloe still stared at me, but didn't say anything more. Phew, that was a close one. I'll have to be more careful from now on. The next day, I was putting my books away when suddenly Chloe ran over, put her arm around my shoulders, and excitedly said, Hey, bestie, we're still going to the mall this afternoon? Huh? What for? Oh, I forgot. You don't remember anything. Last week you promised to take me to pick out a birthday present. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'll meet you by the school gates after the last bell, okay? What? What is she doing? We weren't friends, and I never agreed to buy her anything. She was just trying to get a gift out of me. Ugh! But since I was supposed to have amnesia, I couldn't expose her either. Ugh! How frustrating! Trust her to pick the most expensive dress in the shop. I laughed through my tears when I saw the price tag. A whopping $150! But that's not all, as when we were leaving the mall, suddenly Chloe turned to look at me and pulled off her fake smile again. Hey, Gloria, do this with your face. I'll make a TikTok video for you. Then she showed me the phone. Huh? What is this? They're all ugly faces. I quickly waved my hand. No way! They look gross! What? That's cute! These are all the videos you sent me the other day and told me to film it for you. Then Chloe held up her phone, and I had no choice but to do so. Gosh, I was no different from a puppet in her hands. Worse, the video quickly went viral throughout the school. And now, every time people see me, they'll imitate those silly moves and burst into laughter. Ugh! That obnoxious Chloe. Why does she keep on putting my life through hell? This weekend, there will be an overnight nature experience. Everyone seemed excited, except for me. Nature was boring. Then suddenly, Chloe spoke up. Miss, my brother, Caden, is studying biology. Can I invite him to come along and help? My ears pricked up on hearing Caden's name. Of course, the teacher agreed. This meant a whole weekend of being with Caden and sitting by the fire, leaning on each other's shoulders and gazing at the stars. God, how romantic. But expectations did not meet reality. Caden was so busy that I hadn't even made eye contact with him yet. I was sitting and watching Caden instruct the students on how to recognize a death cap mushroom when suddenly someone tapped me on the shoulder. It was Chloe. Hey, let's go to the nearby stream to take photos. That's so lame. I already had like a zillion pictures taken at that stupid stream, as I've been here every week with Caden and this annoying sister of his. But, well, I suppose that would still be more fun than sitting here like this, right? So I pretended to be interested and followed her. Wow, this place is so beautiful. Stop the act. There's only the two of us now, so you don't have to fake it anymore. I know it all. Chloe smirked and continued. Now let's see how you get out of this one. Huh? Was she on to me? So all along, she was just trying to prove I was lying about the memory loss? Nice try, Chloe, but I can just call someone for help. Duh. Hey, where's my phone? God, I left it in the tent. What was I supposed to do now? I knew the way back, but if I went back by myself, it was like willingly falling into Chloe's trap. And my fake amnesia would then be exposed. By then, Caden probably wouldn't even look at me. No way! It can't happen like that. Someone will come looking for me soon. Then I sat down on a nearby tree stump and waited. But it started to get dark pretty fast. And why hadn't anyone come searching for me yet? I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten anything in hours. Suddenly, the branches behind me made a strange noise, which made me tremble in fear. Setting my thoughts aside, I hurriedly found my way back to the campsite. Halfway there, I suddenly saw two figures walking towards me, but they seemed to be arguing quite fiercely. Do you know how dangerous it can be in the forest at night? What if something happened to Gloria? She knows the way back. She was just pretending to get your attention. Or are you afraid her father won't hire you again? Wait a minute. Those voices were so familiar. Were they Caden and Chloe? But what were they talking about? Dad? Hire? What did that mean? I took a quick step forward and was stunned when I saw Caden and Chloe in the flesh. As soon as he saw me, Caden frantically asked, Are you okay? What are you two talking about? And what does it have to do with my dad? While Caden was still perplexed, Chloe was annoyed and said, It's your dad who hired Caden to watch over and protect you. Now stop wondering why he always shows up at the right time to stop your mischief. What? What did Chloe just say? Was it really my dad who hired Caden? I needed to go home immediately to ask my dad to clear things up. I stormed off, but could still hear Chloe's voice behind me. See? I told you her memory's perfectly intact. It was all just an act. Ugh! As soon as I arrived home, I barged into my dad's office. Did you hire Caden to watch over me? Why did you do that? Seeing that he couldn't hide it anymore, Dad told me everything. Turns out, a few years ago, by chance, he'd seen Caden protecting Chloe when she was causing a scene at the grocery store, and he was impressed by his maturity. Later on, he also learned that their parents had passed away a long time ago, and they'd been living with their grandma. It's a pretty pitiful situation. So, Dad came up with the idea to pay Caden to oversee and protect me, which made him feel more assured about his mischievous, crafty daughter. And at the same time, this would help Caden's family make their ends meet. So, it turned out that the time Caden saved me wasn't because he was a good guy, but just for my dad's money. I was so disappointed and sad that I locked myself in my room for the weekend. Until I was sunbathing in the garden when a baseball flew over the fence and almost knocked me out. I was furious. Whoever threw that could have killed me. That's when Caden appeared. He rushed over to retrieve the ball, then said to me, Hey, Gloria, I'm sorry about that. My friend's visiting and he has terrible aim. I folded my arms and muttered out, Whatever. He started to walk away, then stopped, looked back at me and said, Look, Gloria, your dad was paying me to protect you, and I know you and your trickster nature, so I knew from the get-go that you were faking your memory loss. The thing is, I actually found it kinda cute that you'd do that just to impress me. I gave him a skeptical look. Was he being serious? I like you. I have done for a while, but I had my duties to think about. But I've given it some thought, and I've told your dad I quit. I don't want to be your security guard anymore. I'd much rather be your boyfriend. So, what do you say? Oh, how bold is this guy? I failed to hold back my smile as I replied, I suppose being your girlfriend could be fun. but no insects. Then I leaped up and hugged him. So now, Caden and I are officially together, and I don't have to pretend I have memory loss anymore. Hey, I guess it's not that surprising. I did say that I always get what I want. I stand here before you, looking back fondly on the 4 years of legacy we've all made together. Do you see her? The girl in the graduation gown giving that awesome speech? Well, that was me, Taylor Flores. Take a look at my parents. They looked so proud of me. Oh, but I will never forget this face. This is Jonas, my arch enemy. We were the top 2 students in our school and had been competing against each other since forever. But too bad, Jonas. You lost the final battle because I was the one asked to give the graduation speech, not you. It's safe to say that I had it all figured out after high school. First, I would move to New York to attend the most prestigious college in the city, majoring in English, of course. Then, when I graduated from college, I'd write my first novel, then publish it to acclamation and glory. Now, that's what I call a perfect plan. Just wait for it. You will see my face on thousands of book covers. Taylor Flores' time has come. I want those pages by the end of Friday, else be prepared for a pay cut this month. Ugh! I hate deadlines! As you can see, my life didn't exactly turn out as I planned. What went wrong, you ask? Well, after I graduated from college, I pursued my writing dream. But every agent and publisher I sent my novel to rejected it. I kept pushing myself to write more, but then I ended up having writer's block. I couldn't create stories anymore, so I decided to switch to writing for newspapers. I used to think that if I had to write for a newspaper, then it'd at least be a famous one. But life is not a fairy tale. On the contrary, it's actually cruel and unfair. Well, at least it was to me, because my preferred newspaper rejected me a bunch of times. So now I ended up here, working for this unknown news website with an all-time grumpy manager. Okay, so back to what was happening at the office. Suddenly, my phone buzzed through an email. Oh no, it's an invitation to my high school reunion. No way I could go back to my hometown and see everyone. They'd all see what a loser I'd become and I'd be the joke of the party. All the worst case scenarios were running through my mind until a call from Amelia came. It's my bestie from high school. She asked me if I was going, and I told her never in a million years. If you don't go, then everybody will assume that you failed in life and you're too ashamed to go. So the best thing you can do is to attend and keep your head up high. Man, Amelia really had a point and was great at persuading other people. No wonder she's now a lawyer. Ugh. So here I was, in front of the venue, feeling so nervous that I thought I may throw up. But it's now or never, right? I just needed to put my game face on. I entered the room to a load of unfamiliar faces. Huh? Was I in the wrong place? I was about to leave when I suddenly bumped into somebody and fell on the floor. Ouch! I looked up. It was a chubby lady who was holding her baby in one arm and gripping a toddler's hand with the other. I instantly apologized. I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't hurt the kids. Oh, it's fine. You're lucky my belly was big enough to block you. She then paused and took a closer look at me. Is that you, Taylor? You look great. Let's get inside. The party just started. Wait, she knew me. But who was she? I guess she did look familiar. Maybe I should wait for Amelia and ask her, as she had kept in touch with most of our classmates. I looked around, trying to find someone familiar to have a chat with, but my gosh, why was it so hard? But then I saw a woman who had beautiful, long blonde hair, and I instantly knew who it was. Jessica, the hottest and most popular girl in high school, and the captain of the cheerleader team. I walked over to her, and we began to catch up. We chatted a lot, and she was so funny. I don't remember her being so hilarious. My God, you're so funny, Jess. Hey, Jessica! I heard Amelia shout. I looked over at her, and she was walking towards someone else. it was the chubby lady from earlier. So, she's Jessica? Oh my, she definitely changed a lot. But if that was Jessica, then who was this? Thank God I didn't say her name earlier. I excused myself from this mystery person, then whispered to Amelia, asking who the lady was I was talking to. Beats me. Why don't we ask her directly? She then did exactly just that. The lady gave us a playful smile, saying, "Try guessing. Are you Ashley? Nope. Natasha? Wrong. Tiffany? Negative. Wait, are you related to Jack Miller? You kinda look like him." Almost correct. Oh my, she wasn't related to Jack Miller, 'cause she is Jack Miller. Well, now she's Jill Miller. Turns out she never felt comfortable being a boy, so after high school, she underwent transgender surgery. Wow, that's incredible. I kind of felt overwhelmed, so I went to the bathroom to freshen up. On my way out, I saw a familiar face. It was Luke, the most handsome guy in high school. He was picking up trash and putting it in the garbage can. Aw, what a nice guy. We talked for a bit and... Oh, turns out he works here as the janitor. He was the one who recommended organizing the reunion here, and he was cleaning up as much as possible so later it wouldn't take him so much time. For real? Who would have expected that? I went back to the party and saw Amelia talking to a guy. Oh, who is this handsome dude? Amelia beckoned me over and introduced him to me. I couldn't believe my ears. It was Jonas, my arch enemy. The chubby dwarf Jonas with a face full of pimples now resembled an Abercrombie and Fitch model. Jonas just told me that he's been promoted to a higher position in his company. Ugh, seemed like he still kept his bragging habit. Some things never changed. Suddenly, Jonas asked me, "And what about you, Taylor? How has it been going for you lately?" Oh, snap! I couldn't tell him that I was working for this awful news website. That would be so humiliating. So, thinking fast, I blurted out that I was a managing editor for this huge newspaper in New York. Jonas and Amelia looked at me in shock. In your face, Jonas. If I had a mic, I would definitely drop it. I asked Jonas what position he was promoted to, and he replied, "Oh, I got Chief Technical Officer." Huh, nice try, but it was no match for my amazing job. I won that battle, loser. Well, in general, the reunion went pretty well, even though I had to lie about myself, but whatever. It's not like I was gonna see Jonas again, right? Wrong. A week later, I received a Facebook friend request from him. First, I ignored it, but then a few days later, he texted me via Messenger, asking why I didn't accept him on Facebook. Ugh, that was so annoying. Fine, but first I had to readjust my page. I needed to hide photos, statuses, and tags that were related to my company. Done. Then Jonas began to text me. "It was nice seeing you the other day. Would you like dinner sometime?" I'm sorry, what? Was he asking me out on a date? Or was this a prank? 'Cause I live in New York. I told him that, and oh my God, he lives in New York too. Ugh, great. But the thing is, I told him last time that I'm an editing manager, and that's a busy job. So during our date, I asked Amelia to pretend to be my secretary and call me a bunch of times during dinner. However, before we could play our act, Jonas was the one who received a dozen calls and then had to leave early because of an incident at his company. After that, he texted me quite a lot, but still feeling bitter from being ditched at dinner the other day, I only replied to him after 30 minutes. Every time. But on days when he didn't text me, I found myself staring at my phone, longing to hear from him. Jesus. I was falling for him? Jonas? Why Jonas? I couldn't understand myself anymore and was unable to stop my feelings. So when he told me he liked me, I said I liked him too. And soon we became a couple. It was great at first, but then Jonas insisted that he drive me to work and pick me up. Oh no. I refused, of course, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. Ugh. So when Jonas dropped me at the fake office, I had to run. No, I had to sprint 5 blocks to my real office to make it on time. And then in the evening, I had to leave 30 minutes earlier to run back to the other office and wait for him to pick me up. The first 3 times, I could handle it. But Jonas wanted to drive me to work every day. That's enough. I needed a break from all this running. Eventually, I came up with an excuse. I bought a bike and told him that I wanted to ride to work, as it would be good for my health. Phew. I didn't have time to run 5 blocks each day anymore, because I had an important interview to prepare for. Oh yeah, I was applying to my dream newspaper. Again, if I did get in, I don't need to lie to Jonas anymore. And luckily, my interview went pretty well. I had a smile on my face as I walked over to the elevator. First it was just me, and then a bunch of employees went in. The elevator was about to close when suddenly, from the outside, someone put his hand between the doors. "Please wait!" And that's when I saw a familiar face. Jonas! Our eyes met, and we both looked shocked. Then one of the employees said to him, "Hey boss, I already finished the report, and will send it to you this evening." What? Why did the guy say that to him? When the elevator reached the ground floor, I quickly ran out of it. Jonas ran after me, held my hand, and said, "Wait, let me explain." What is there to explain? We both lied to each other. Jonas held me in his arms and tried to keep me calm. Then he began telling me everything. Oh my God. Turns out he's the actual editing manager of this newspaper. Ugh! Well, that explains a lot. I should have known he didn't work in technology, as I once asked him to repair my laptop, and he ended up locking himself out of it. Hearing you say you had my job shocked me. I didn't want to embarrass you, so I made up another position. So he knew right from the beginning I was lying. Then why did you insist on driving me to work, when you already knew I didn't work there? I was just messing with you. Besides, I was kinda curious to see how long you could keep the lie up for. I'm sorry. But the truth is, I like you. I have liked you since high school. Back then, I was always competing with you because I wanted you to notice me. I thought I was about to throw a tantrum, but thinking back, it was all my fault. If I hadn't lied in the first place, then Jonas wouldn't have had to lie about himself. Right at that moment, I received an email from Human Resources. Oh God, I got in! They were so impressed by me that they had to email me right away. I was so happy that I hugged Jonas as he said, "Congratulations, newbie. Now, let's get to work. Your first task is to go out on dinner with me." Yeah, so now Jonas and I work at the same place, and he's my boss. I used to hate losing to him, but now that he's my boyfriend, I feel fine. Actually, I'm really proud of him.